Hey folks, it's Jared Mannanen from the website TahoeTrailGuide.com. If I look and sound like I'm tired, that's because I am. Wow, this holiday season was insane. And it wasn't so much because it was the holiday, it's because of the snowstorm that hit Tahoe starting on the morning of the 23rd and lasting, I don't know, at least a week later. I drove up to work on December 23rd. It was a Thursday morning. I live on the South Shore and work on the North Shore in the winter. So by the time I reached Truckee at about, I don't know, like 8 o'clock or so, it had already been starting to snow for about 15 minutes. And leading up to that, we had a night of rain. So it was a decent drive, it was nice. But then once the snow hit, it pretty much did not stop for many days, and we got a lot of feet of snow. I think if you've been looking at any of my community tab posts, just photos of the quick updates and stuff over the holidays, you'll see that yeah, we got a lot of snow, and it's a pretty incredible thing up here. Just people, stories of people getting trapped for 12 hours in their cars because they decided to take a roundabout way to get to Tahoe, when in fact the roads were closed and all the side streets were worse than the highways. So it was just it was madness. There were food shortages, there were gas shortages. When I was in Truckee, and I stayed there from the 23rd until the 2nd of January, so almost, I guess, 11 days. Yeah, we were out of power for 2 different 12-hour stints, and then we had a couple of minor quick flashes of power outage. Single lane roads, neighborhoods were treacherous. Oh God, it was exhausting doing all the snow removal and just trying to get to and from work. That was quite exhausting in and of itself, just because there's still a lot of people on the roads trying to get around when there's not really anywhere to go, because everyone was essentially snowbound and everything closed down for at least 2 days. I believe that was on the 26th and 27th. Everything was officially closed just because there was so much snow. So I'm tired. The days following that snowstorm over the holidays were incredible. Oh my gosh. We had single-digit temperatures through most of the nights last week, so all that snow that was clinging to the trees remained, and it just made for a beautiful winter wonderland, real-life snow globe, whatever you want to call it. It was beautiful. Last night we had winds of 60 to 100 miles an hour at the ridge tops. Pretty damn fast down in the basin, and all the snow is out of the trees for the most part now, as well as a lot of debris, branches and stuff. So for about, I don't know, 5 days, the landscape was just amazing, just pristine snowy trees and mountains and stuff. And now well, it's still beautiful, and we have a lot of snow to work with, so I'm looking forward to the next snowstorm. But yeah, it looks pretty haggard outside right now, just because there's so much stuff that fell out of trees these last 24 hours. Yeah. But Tahoe should be set up for a really good winter. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, you gotta kind of sacrifice a little bit of ski time and calories in order to make do with all the snow, but it's worth it because it yields a good base that'll last for a long time. I think the official word for Lake Tahoe, or specifically up at Donner Pass, where there's been a snow recording service through UC Berkeley for decades now, this was the biggest one on record, and for the month of December at Donner Pass they recorded 214 inches of snow. So that's a lot of feet. It's a lot of feet of snow. Granted, that didn't all fall at lake level because it never does, but still in the upper elevations, that's a great thing. That's good for the snowpack, good for the ski season, and good for morale, so long as you like snow. Okay folks, that's all I got. I just needed to get out of the house and get some exercise, go practice some downhill turns, look at the forest. It's interesting because for the last 2 weeks I pretty much was, life was on hold. I was snow shoveling, snow blowing, and skiing the whole time. And now I find myself on my days off sitting in front of the computer doing all the projects that I did not finish at the end of last year. So there's that, but it feels good to get back outside. I hope you guys have snow. I hope you guys have a great winter. I just wanted to say I really appreciate everyone subscribing. I know there's been a huge influx this last month, and for that I am very grateful and appreciative. It means a lot to me, and I do like being able to offer what advice that I can, and I love all the questions and comments that you guys provide me, so thank you for that. I especially appreciate all the Patreon subscribers who contribute to the health and longevity of this YouTube channel, as well as Tahoe Trail Guide on a monthly basis. That is super helpful, and I am very grateful, so thank you. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then check out TahoeTrailGuide.com. If you do want to become a contributor, again, I have a Patreon account. I also have a PayPal.me button that you can just make one-time donation of a tip or a compensation for whatever wisdom you may have gained or knowledge you've gained through watching my videos and asking questions of me. Take care, everyone.